Hey everyone, it's Dylan from Emerald City Hockey. This is going to be the first episode in a new series where I'm going to provide scouting reports on all of the top prospects for this year's NHL Entry Draft. Some quick information on my scouting background. I spent 5 seasons as a WHL California area scout, most of that time with the Portland Winterhawks. I'm now going to take those same skills that I used then and apply it to this year's NHL Entry Draft so that I can give all of you a really good in-depth look at who some of these players are. After all, the Kraken are going to have a top 5 pick, so we should all probably get to know some of these guys and see who we might want them to take. One last thing before I start. A lot of scouting reports used a 1-to-1 ratio of good and bad, and I'll be doing the same here. But don't take that as me saying that these players have a lot of holes in their game or that they're not very good. It's more so because in scouting reports, they're just as much for the coaching staff to know, so once a player is drafted, that team knows what they need to work on and what they should be focusing on once that player comes in for developmental camps, preseason, even during the regular season, all that kind of stuff. So as I bring stuff up for these players, no, I'm not just trying to be nitpicky, and I'm not trying to, just be like some pundit making controversial takes and trying to tell you how terrible the world is, right? I'm just letting you know that these are the areas that these players need to work on a little bit once they make it to the NHL. With that said, let's take a look at Owen Power, defenseman coming out of Michigan. Power is as close to a consensus number 1 prospect as I think we're going to have this year. He's a big-bodied defenseman with a focus on the offensive side of the game. He possesses a great slap shot, and while it's not particularly fast, it is heavy, which can almost be better as it leads to rebound opportunities in front of the net. He's also very accurate with it. I'd like to see him elevate it more, but if his top-notch control carries over into the NHL with him, he should be able to score plenty attacking the 6 or 7 holes. I'd like to see him speed up his long wind-up, as the 5-on-5 situations he's going to face in the NHL will not give him the same time and space as he had in college. This change could impact his accuracy, however, so whatever team drafts him will have to decide if the trade-off is worth it or not. That said, it did look like he was shortening to a kind of half-slapper and was having pretty good success with it, so it might not be an issue at all. His passing and on-ice vision is also very advanced. He can place it tape to tape and sets up his blue line partner regularly for snapshots or one-timers. But what I like about it the most is his confidence. His passes are always strong, and you can tell that once he sees something, he goes for it, trusting his instincts, which is often one of the places you see young players struggle the most. It should also give him a leg up on other prospects in his class when it comes to fighting for regular NHL playing time as a rookie. His vision also makes him a natural when it comes to running a power play. That's also something that should translate right away to the CHL. He's a smooth skater who I think falls into that category of big guys whose size makes them look slower than they actually are. While still not a burner, he doesn't have a hard time staying stride for stride with most other players. Add in his size and reach, and he'll be more than fine handling opposing rushes. I would like to see some smoother hip and body rotation when he shifts from skating forwards to backwards and vice versa, however, as right now he tends to isolate his hips, make the transition, and then follow with his upper body. This greatly reduces any built-up momentum and causes him to lose a step on guys. In his own zone, Power likes to use his stick to disrupt plays, and he's aggressive with it. Rather than wait for a play to develop, he's going to attack the puck carrier as they enter the zone, shutting their play down before it can even start. While devastating when effective, it is a gamble, and given his rigid style of skating transition, if he misses, the opposing player is off to the races with a free one-on-one against the goalie. This is contrasted with a more stay-at-home style of play in front of the net. He doesn't leave his spot to chase the puck into the corners, opting instead to body up whoever is parked in front of his own netminder. This could just be because of his coaching at Michigan, with the staff wanting him to use his size to clear traffic, or it could be indicative of a potential lack of confidence in more physical, gritty play. This isn't as bad as it sounds, however. I've known lots of young players who have shied away from the corners or board play after a recent period of growth spurts. It takes time to essentially relearn to trust their balance, and they can sometimes feel exposed thanks to their new stature. Both are things they grow out of with time, however. This leads me to address the elephant in the room. Power has the size that every team salivates over. General managers dream of stuff like this, where a player is literally a full head taller than the rest of his teammates. Seriously, nothing has caused more GMs to ignore faults in a prospect's game more than a big body, and we see it year after year. But with Power, he has the skill to back it up, though, as with most guys with large frames, it's going to take some time for him to fill out and get stronger. It will be interesting to see if the team that drafts him decides to work with him on becoming more physical or not. Big hits are not a part of his game, though he can still finish his checks when needed to. In years past, we've seen guys with a similar build forced to be more physical as they transition to the NHL, often to the detriment of the rest of their game, and I think that would be a mistake with Power, as what makes him truly valuable is his size-skill combination. That leads me to his NHL comparison. I, like many others, see Power as a more offensively minded Victor Hedman. Like Hedman, he possesses a rare size and speed combination that few can match, and much like the Norris winner, he would rather use his stick and skill than just throw his body around when he's faced with a sticky situation. I think a similar career path could also be in the cards for Power, one where he's solid for a few years, but doesn't break out as an all-star two-way defenseman until he rounds out his game, learns the nuances of the NHL, and fills out his frame. So those are my thoughts on Owen Power. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the comments on what you thought of this video, so I know what I might need to change up for next time. Also, like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll see you next time.